Hello and welcome back to Center of Animation. I'm your host, Dennis Batholkis, and this is another episode of Is It Worth My Time? This time I'm going through Lost in Space, the Netflix Lost in Space season 2. So this is the new one with Parker Posey as Dr. Smith. Welcome everybody. I'm going to I'm going to do a little bit of business first, and then I will go into the non-spoiler review, and then I'll do a spoiler review. How about that? Or just kind of go over it a bit more. If you like what you see here, hit the like button, like, share, and subscribe. Also, if you want to know when I'm going to be on live again next, a 50-50 chance of YouTube actually notifying you, you can hit the bell down below there as well. If you really want to know when I'm going to be on, you can go to my website, suspendedanimation.com, as Penn has just put up there, and see the schedule that's up there. I change it out every week, every Monday. It's also up on my Facebook page as well. And speaking of Facebook, for those three of you who still have it, I have a Facebook group page which you guys can post stuff on and talk amongst yourselves, all that kind of good stuff. You guys really aren't talking too much in that group section there, but that's fine. I mean, it's basically there for you guys to, talk and all that kind of thing. Also, I have a Twitter, I have an Instagram, and I have a Patreon page, and there is stuff that's going to be coming up on that Patreon page soon, just not at the moment. Um, so for the non-spoiler review, if you like sci-fi that's as I put it, kind of a swashbuckling sci-fi, this kind of goes back to the old Irwin Allen TV series. It does kind of embody that a bit, and it's different than if you say The Expanse. They're both sci-fi. The Expanse is more political, and you have a lot more machinations going on between factions and people and things like that. Whereas this is just straight up sci-fi fun, like action adventure. You really don't have to think about it that much, but it still has a story to it as well. And so if you're on the fence about, looking at it, the first season, they kind of spent a little too much time between Will and the robot. They really do. The second season, I think, actually kind of hit its stride, to tell you the truth, that I'm looking forward to a third season on this. So is it worth my time? Yes, it's worth my time. It really is. And yes, Parker Posey as Dr. Smith is really fucking good. She is actually worth the price of admission, especially in the first season. The first season is she does a phenomenal job of holding that together. The second season, she's just as good. So yeah, she's really good in that as well. Yeah. Yeah, the story does get a little silly at times, but that's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be this swashbuckling adventure thing. It's not supposed to be it's not supposed to be overly cerebral. It's not supposed to be war and peace or anything like that. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be something you sit back, you watch with the kids, that kind of thing, and you have a little bit of fun about it. Uh Apple Curses, I'm glad y'all are liking it. I hate all the characters. Well, that's just because 'cause you're a curmudgeon, that's all, Apple Crow. I'm about to go yell, "Get off my lawn," to some kids out there too. So, yeah. Uh, yeah. So, with that said, spoiler alert. I am gonna spoil some stuff. I am gonna talk about spoilers about the second season. So if you have not watched either season 1 or season 2, now is the time to get out. And I've given you the non-spoiler version of it, so now I'm going for the spoiler version of it. Thank you, Viking Bitch, for the paddle. You like how I do that when I just turn around and go, now I'm giving you the spoiler version of it. So yes, spoilers. So yeah, the second season, I actually really liked the uh the interaction between so there wasn't as much of Will and the robot, which is good because the robot wasn't there. The robot that we know wasn't there. We get a little bit more about the robots and what the fucking humans have done, and also what happened on Earth, what caused all this stuff. Why are people leaving? Why are they going to the Andromeda galaxy? And it turns out that pretty much we fucked up our own planet, to the most part, but the thing that crash landed on Earth, the asteroid that supposedly everyone is saying caused, Earth to die and all that kind of stuff, was actually an alien ship. It was one of the robot ships, and they took the drive from that and one of the robots and the robot from that to they basically made it a slave for them, and they've been using it to ferry people back and forth between Earth and Andromeda. So the big ship, the Resolute, has made something like 30 some odd trips at this point, hauling colonists back and forth. And now with the robots, people, if you will, the other robots are coming for the drive because of what's going on. And that's the thing that I was kind of liking. That is, we're getting some answers out of this about what was going on, what the robot is. And the robot that Will knows, something happened to it. It's not quite right. And that's why it's glommed onto Will, and but it still won't listen to him. As we see Will growing, we also see his robot growing as well, and his robot isn't as slavish to him as he has been before in the past, in season one. And Rui Fanobi says it wasn't fantastic, it wasn't terrible, high and low points. I wanted less Western theme. I wanted them to go to the robot base. Um, I'm okay with them not going to the robot. I'm pretty sure they're going to go to the robot base or touch on the robot base if they get a season three. I'm fairly sure they're going to get a season three. Um, I'm loving Don, quite honestly. Don also, we got a little bit of exposition on him where he's a smuggler. He's a big time smuggler to the point where he actually gives up himself to the Resolute crew uh, in order to save the Robinsons, and gets himself in handcuffs. And Dr. Smith, the way she actually manipulates, she games everybody on this thing. She goes through the Resolute's computers and wipes out all kinds of shit and establishes herself as a doctor. She establishes her identity as Dr. Smith, even going so far as to revisit the real Dr. Smith who's in stasis for the injuries that she's given him, and stealing his ID card, and so she can make an ID card with her picture on it instead, proving that she's the real Dr. Smith, which I thought was pretty damn funny and horrifying at the same time. And then also her having repercussions of what she did in season 1 where she spaced that one guy, and then having to deal with his daughter that they find on the Resolute, who's been living for months by herself on the Resolute because her mom had to leave, and her dad, she could never find her dad. And just freaking out, like having full on panic attacks whenever she meets that kid. And that actually right there is one of the better little story plots in there. They used it once too often, I'll say that much, but I really like the way they did it. They did a good job of it, of using it. Yes, they always have a crisis. That is the nature of Lost in Space. It was always a crisis, and that's what it was supposed to be about. And I like this, and then also the whole thing with Judy connecting with her father again, and then we find out a little bit about her background and her father's background, who's been presumed dead all this time, and that cliffhanger of an ending where they send all the children away, so that because the robots are coming in. Basically, there's a swarm of fucking robots coming in, and robot takes the kids and the ship to Judy's father, to the ship that he was at some distant planet that is destroyed from the looks of things. Yeah. Yes, Marcus Khan. Bill Mummy was the real Dr. Smith in the show. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, Parker Posey really does have longevity. And excuse me, Selma Blair is her sister as well, coming in. And I know she's very ill at the moment in real life. Selma Blair, but having her being able to come in for at least a scene or two was actually kind of nice to see her come back and do that too, in the flashbacks and things like that. And then also the ingenuity. Who's my favorite character right now is Penny, believe it or not. um, just because she's questioning everything. She's not the smartest person. out of all of this, but at the same time, she's questioning all this stuff and she's trying to work it out. She's trying to figure her way through this thing, and she's not doing a bad job, quite honestly, you know? So yeah, um, good stuff. Lots of fun, quite honestly. If you just want something that you want to sit back, have a good time, see some shit blow up, some people running around, some people in space, sci-fi goodness. Yes, Penny was the girl who crawled in the cooler. Yes, that's the other Robinson, the redhead. Yeah. And, so, yeah, if you wanna have a good, fun, old-fashioned time, this is the series to actually watch. It's just kind of it's a throwback, if you will, to, some nice, just fun where you don't have to think about everything, you don't have to scrutinize every episode, and I think for me, actually, that worked a little bit more, better than maybe for some other people, because having to scrutinize some of these episodes that I go over and I watch and some of these shows that I watch, and this was just something I could relax, watch, and have fun with, and I blew through this thing fairly quickly. I mean, I think, what was it? It was released on Christmas Eve, and I think I blew through the entire season in on Christmas Eve day. Yeah, so yeah. Well, she does have a crush on the smuggler. I know, movie Finobi. Yeah, Penny does have a crush on Don, and Don with his chicken that he's got there. He talks to his chicken, which was pretty funny. But scrutinizing is 99% of your whole deal. Oh man, you can still scrutinize it. That's all you need to do, Apple Crow. But you can also have fun with that as well, and just sit back and relax. Marcus Kahn says that cooler capsule gag would have only worked with the heater. They would have been frozen solid in actuality without it. Um, well, it is insulated, Marcus Kahn, so they would have kept them. I say it would have kept like Don was saying, it would have been a couple of seconds. I don't think it would have been instantaneous, but I think they would have had at least a good like maybe 10 seconds before they kind of froze. But that's what it seemed like. I wasn't too sure. The chicken was from the first season as well, Pen. We knew the chicken thing was, yes, Debbie. That's right. So you remember the chicken's name, but you don't remember any of the cast names, maybe Finobi. Now we know where your you know, focus is on that. She was in season one. Debbie was in season one. Yeah. Um and the music too. The music's actually pretty damn good in this too. I like the music. Um So yeah, fun all the way around. I'm looking forward to a season 3. I hope there's a season 3. No, there was not a chicken in the original show. That's right. But there didn't need to be a chicken in the original show. That's a little bit different, you know? Yeah, he did say her name a lot, but the fact that he couldn't remember Penny's name or, Will or Maureen or, any of the other characters' names, Dr. Smith, it just seemed kind of funny. That's all. Marcus Kahn says, notice Mrs. Robinson was a bit woke in the show. What do you mean? Uh, I don't really follow what the fuck woke is or anything like that or whatever the bullshit nationalist rhetoric is lately, Marcus Kahn. So quite honestly, um, yeah, I don't really care of that stuff. I wasn't really paying attention to that. I was having fun with it, is what I was. Yeah. Uh, no, actually, everyone was pulling their own weight, is what was going on. I saw family working together, is what I saw. So yeah, uh, there's another channel that you guys can take that kind of content over to because I'm pretty sure they revel in that. I don't work with that kind of stuff here. 'Cause quite honestly, it's just bullshit, is really all it is. It's just another way of people to label shit to bring other people down, quite honestly. And, I don't go in for that kinda stuff. So, sorry, but not sorry, as they say. Yeah, exactly, it was a team effort. I saw a family working together. I didn't see a feminist thing going on. I didn't see, you know, any kind of, racial stuff going on, anything like that. All I saw was a family working together, trying to get the fuck back home, is really what they were trying to do. And they even bring it out that, Penny even says it. She spells it out completely in this season. She says, "Hey, you know what? Will has the science stuff. So do you. Um, you know, that John actually knows how to pilot. He knows, the sailor stuff, all that kind of stuff. Judy is a doctor, so she's got the doctor portion down. And then she goes, and then there's me, and she goes, and I have nothing to offer. I've got nothing to bring to the table, and you know she did, and that was the cool thing about it is that all this stuff kinda came together, and it wasn't that one person stood out over the other or anything like that, that they all had to work together in order to kinda get shit working, and, it felt pretty organic, quite honestly. So, yeah. Yeah, oh, exactly, Penn. Watchmen was more, you know yeah. The very end of it moved Finobi, the Miss Manhattan thing, if you're gonna go with titles. Yes, they are the fucking luckiest family in the universe, quite honestly, Penn. Yeah. Yeah, sorry, Marcus, I don't mean to shut you down or anything like that, but I just don't use that kind of terminology because it's terminology that's just kinda based on bullshit, quite honestly, and it's rhetoric that, is just used to fuel hate, and, quite honestly, there's enough of that shit in the world where it doesn't need to come here. Yeah. Joker says, I almost like a more family show like One Tree Hill, which I never watched, or a family. Was One Tree Hill a family show? I don't know if it was or not. It was almost more like a family. Yeah, it is more of a family show, Joker. It really is. Yeah. Viking Bitch says, I think the constant crisis made them stronger, faster, more powerful. Yes, they were built stronger, better, faster. Da-na-na-na. Applecrow says, I guess I just don't like the dichotomy of the production design and budget with a swashbuckling camp. Um, yeah, I can see that. It had a very high production value, but it was still keeping the Irwin Allen vibe to it. The very kind of campy but action oriented storyline to it. And I can see how that could put you off, but, I just kinda rolled with it, to tell you the truth, and had fun. I mean, because that's kinda what it rolled with me on that one, and I was in the right frame of mind. Excuse me. Bigger, boobier, Vikinger? No. I don't wanna know your personal life, Movie Finobi. Uh, yeah. So, good stuff, worth your time. Yes, it's so much better than any of the current sci-fi bullshit. It's a lot better than Another Life, that's for damn sure. Uh, yes, the trash compactor thing went on too long. There's a couple things that went on a little too long, just a smidge too long, but, you have that in any show, quite honestly, and, um, I really didn't have a problem with it. I did like you see Dr. Smith's manipulation. I mean, fuck me, man. She really does do she manipulates people very, very well, I have to admit. especially when she's trying to talk the teacher out of being the one that stays out of the freezer, that he sacrifices himself. And I mean, she talks him into it so easily. I'm like, damn. Yeah. Apple Crow says this will sound like one of those I am very smart things, but I have trouble turning my brain off for certain things. And what I said about the design is probably fucking with my Switch. Yeah, I understand. I as soon as you said it, Apple Crow, as soon as you typed it out there, I knew exactly what you were saying. I saw it in my head, and I know exactly what you're saying. And yeah, I can see it can happen. I have problems with stuff too, of turning my brain off on some things. There's some simple things where I'm like, "But that won't," and I'm like, "It's just fucking fiction. Just shut up and watch it," you know? Then there's other stuff where it just gets really too stupid, like episode 9, and you kinda go, "Yeah, fuck this thing. I can't go any farther than that." Movie Fanobi says, "I loved Cara Thrace, and the actress is spunky and fun, but I didn't care for the show, but I didn't care." Which Cara Thrace? What are you talking about, Movie Fanobi? Are we talking about Lost in Space still? Because I don't know who the hell Cara Thrace is, unless you're talking about something else completely different. Oh, Another Life. Okay. Yeah, I honestly, I didn't make it past the first episode. I really tried to, and I was fighting through that first episode, trying to go, "Where is this thing going?" And I couldn't make it. Yeah, I know her real name, so, Katie Sackhoff? Is that who you're talking about? Yeah. There's always a point in which we just can't. Yeah, exactly. Everybody has a different threshold, if you will. And yeah, some people aren't going to like this, but you know what? I had fun with it, quite honestly. There's a lot of worse things out there. So yeah, next week, what I'm going to end up covering for this, Is It Worth My Time, is going to be Six Underground. Six Underground, yes. I'm gonna cover that one. Why are you saying am I covering Six Underground? Is that genre? It's a fucking Michael Bay movie, man. Of course it's genre. Morks, what's going on? Uh, yeah. Pattern Farm Girl says I have a very high threshold, but I passed on Another Life. Yeah. I couldn't do it. I really after the first episode, I was like, what's the point? This is just like a really, really bad sci-fi channel movie. And each episode was gonna be a really bad, you know, sci-fi movie, and I couldn't do it. I heard more maybe coming from like a franchise. Oh, yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, yeah. So, what else do I have going on? Tomorrow, I'm gonna finish up The Expanse. I'm going through episodes 5 through 10. Why am I going through episodes 5 through 10 all at once after going episode by episode? Because they fucking left every single episode on a cliffhanger that rolled into the next episode. And see a movie and every I just, I need to do all of them. You have to finish up, Pen. You've got 24 hours. Sorry. Yeah. Uh, yeah, the way they ended each episode, they left on a cliffhanger and another cliffhanger, and I'm like, motherfucker. So they kind of they went into the binge mode. They leaned into it hard in those last 5 episodes, and so I'm like, all right, I'll concede on this one. I'll just do it. I'll just do it. And yes, they ended on the worst cliffhanger ever. Exactly, Apple Crow. I agree with you. So no, they didn't all have cliffhangers. The first 4 didn't, kind of. And that was the reason why I was kinda going episode by episode, and then I just ended up, yeah. Said, all right, fuck it. I'm gonna do it. Yeah. Well, that and also I was looking at my schedule and I said, you know what? If I time this right, I can do the expanse, just finish it up, do the contest the next week, the contests on the expanse for the coin. Yeah. And that way the week after that rolls into Project Blue Book. That's right, because Project Blue Book will be on Tuesdays. Yeah. I know a lot of you are not keen on Project Blue Book, but other people are, like me. Are you trying Dracula? Yeah, I'll give Dracula a try. I've heard some bad things about it, and I've heard some good things about it. So who knows? I mean, we'll see what's going on. No, no one's contacted me as of yet for that pen. No one has contacted me for the Mr. Robot Round 2 winners as of yet. It's kind of getting annoying at this point. So, yeah. No, I'm not giving it to Morks. Morks already got stuff, man. He turned down a T-shirt. So, I mean, yeah. Joe Greer says, oh no, you guys are talking about other stuff. I know, really. What is wrong with people? I'm trying to give away free shit here. An F Society mask and the fucking E Corp keychain. Yeah. I did look it up. That is the correct way you say it is E Corp for the grammar police out there. Yeah. You don't say E Core. Core is only used for like the Marine Corps and things like that. But if you're using corporation, is you use corp. Yeah, so you have to actually pronounce the P as in pissed, as in pissy. Yeah, that kind of thing. P is in prizes, exactly. Yeah. I got it. Patreon as well. hmm I know you guys all want the mask, but there's other people out there too. So who knows? I might do something later on. The Green Henry showed. Would you rather have seen Lost in Space and as a big film franchise? No, quite honestly, Green. I like it this way, to tell you the truth. I thought about that as well, and seeing how it went about, in the early 2000s, doing that, the Matt LeBlanc one, and that kind of hurt it, I think, doing a big film franchise because this is more Lost in Space is sprawling. It's supposed to be you're lost in space. You are essentially going from one crisis to the other, which is how it is. It's wagon train. I think Irwin Allen actually said that's what he had based it on was the wagon train. You're out there and you are facing one crisis after the other. Think of Oregon Trail, the video game Oregon Trail, where you're facing one crisis after the other. That's what Lost in Space was originally designed as. It's designed as a weekly series where they face a hardship, they get mired in it, they have to come up with a solution, they find that, and then they move on. They resolve it and move on. Yeah. We had to do our basic yearly security training today, and I knew most of it just from watching Mr. Robot Nice. Yeah, I had to do my security training to the online uh what I call bullshit training. So it used to be that we'd have videos that you could if you were smart enough, you could click on the bottom and you could drag it and you can just go through the video and then get to the test, at the end. They got smart to that, so now you can't click and drag anymore and you have to well, the sexual harassment one, you literally have to sit through an hour. They say you have to sit through an hour-long training. If you get through the videos fast enough where all I was doing is click, 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 and then I have to wait for the video to play, so I would, play video games while I was waiting and then, go back again. I got 100% by the way on it because I've taken this shit for, like, 20 some odd years. So, I should know how to do it by now. I've written some of these trainings. And, yeah, it literally at one point because I finished too early on on the timing of it, I had, 45 seconds left, I guess it was, and it literally sat there and said, "You have 45 seconds left," and it counted it down. I'm like, "You're fucking kidding me. You're gonna be that petty where I finished 45 seconds early, but I've gotta sit through the entire hour, so you won't just give me the goddamn test." Yeah. I'm a pig Viking bitch. I'm just, I'm a polite pig. Yeah. Uh, oh, I never gave sexual harassment training. No, that would be a mistake. That would be a complete and total mistake. I've given other trainings before, though. I've done a lot of like some high end trainings. Yeah. Apple says if there's one thing I've learned about sexual harassment, it's waiting 45 seconds before testing someone. Yeah. Uh huh. Do you usually count down out loud too? Let them know that you're waiting that 45 seconds. Pen Farm Girl says I was offended by our sexual harassment testing because they were telling you to report people for the lamest stuff. Let's create, yeah. Well, I was kind of looking at this thing and I'm like, and me and another coworker, we were talking about it as the training was going on. So I had the training play in the background, and her and I were talking, and we're like, "Oh, yeah, by the way, they added in the transgender thing, they took out such and such thing this year, and they put in the transgender thing this year." And we're talking about all the different because literally, we know where these things are because we all in my department, we've done so much training and stuff like that, setup training and stuff like that. You you recognize the blocks of where they are and how the beats are supposed to go in the training and things like that. That's why my trainings, when I usually set my trainings up, they don't have a beat to them. I kind of go with a flow. There's a difference, by the way. One actually makes you fall asleep when you have the beat. The other one keeps you awake and riveted because you don't know what the fuck's going to happen if someone's going to throw something at you in the middle of the or something near you or ask you a question. Uh, I like to keep my people on their toes when they're learning from me. But now this has gone off completely off topic. So there we go. So what else do I have going on? Like I said, I've got the Expanse going on tomorrow. Wednesday and Thursday I'm off. Friday is Harley Quinn. Excuse me. We've got the Queen of Fables being released from her tax book, 30-year tax book sentence. Saturday is going to be Saturday Morning Blast Off, where I take the genre news of the week and any of your genre stuff you guys want to talk about and do that. Sunday, I'm off. And then we come back around Monday to Is It Worth My Time? And that's going to be Six Underground. Yeah. Yes, my training does involve, well, it used to, I should say, Viking bitch. You can't throw things at people anymore. That's considered harassment too when you do that, especially if you put out an eye. Then you actually have to fill out the whole fucking workers' comp thing. And it just got to be more costly than it was worth. Yeah. So, yeah, now I just, whenever I would do training, so I've done training for groups as small as like one on one to, 1,000, 1,100 people, something like that. I think that 1,500, I think, was the most I've done. Yeah, somewhere around there. I've done so much training that I don't even it doesn't phase me anymore walking in, to a crowd or anything like that and doing it, even though I don't like crowds, but I can turn it off and just go straight into that mode. Yeah. That's why you woke with teens? My god. Everyone's woke tonight. Oh, you work with teens. That's right. I can yell at them, can't yell at adults. They will you're not supposed to yell at teens either. You know that, Viking bitch. You're not supposed to woke with them either. That'll get you in a whole other kind of problem. Mhm. Yeah, I know I'm gonna catch hell for that one at some point. Yeah, yelling does work sometimes. All right. Where am I at on time here? I might as well take a look. Yeah, I'm at the right time. So, if you like what you see here, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, like, share, and subscribe. Also, if you're still on the fence about joining up, take a look at the very end of this video. You're going to see a video pop up here. Basically, what YouTube does, it takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and it tries to match as best as possible those algorithms up to one video in my vast video library and pop it up there just for you. Up here is going to be what is today? Today is Monday. So it's going to be, I'm going to put Saturday Morning Blast off up here. How about that? You don't need to see the second go round of the Mr. Robot. You know what? Fuck it. I'll put the Mr. Robot contest up here, the second round. Maybe someone will get that. I don't know at this point. So, yeah, what else is there? If you want to know when I'm gonna be on again live, take a look at suspendedfanimation.com. My schedule is up there. Plus, it's up on my Facebook page. I have a Twitter, I have an Instagram, and I have a Patreon page. There we go. So thanks everybody. I will see you again tomorrow for the rest of season 4 of The Expanse. And we can get that over with and done because everyone wants to speed up on there, except for Penn. Penn has to watch 3 more episodes there, or 4 more episodes, I guess. Sorry, Penn. Thanks everybody. Have a good rest of your night. And don't let your door, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you may get tongue-tied, because it's been a long day and it's the first day back at work, for the year kind of thing, and it's things just aren't working out. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night. I will see you tomorrow.